Hey guys, this is Costa, your bulk trucking optimization guy. Just a little background on me and Nivio. I've spent over a decade on the operator side of things. I started a bulk trucking company back in 2011. And one thing that I learned over the years is that even with great people, dispatch was always going to be one of the hardest parts of the business. Trying to minimize deadhead, keep trucks utilized, keep drivers and customers happy, and stay inside hours of service, all while planning everything manually, it can be challenging for anybody. And so I knew there had to be a better way, which is why I built Nivio. And so Nivio is a system that plans and optimizes every load and every driver with one click. It analyzes literally millions of combinations in minutes while still respecting your load priorities and your hours of service. And it's also simple to use. You can either upload a file into our portal or you can tie it into your existing TMS via API to keep your workflow seamless. So now we're going to put Nivio to the test in a true head-to-head comparison with real-world data. And the rules are simple: same day, same loads, same drivers. And the question is, can Nivio really cut miles, reduce costs, and boost productivity? Let's find out. All right, so here's the Nivio portal. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the plan our customer sent over. First, we select our template for upload, and then once uploaded, we're going to go back here and select the plan we're actually analyzing for today. What you're seeing on the screen now is the actual dispatch the sand hauler sent us. This is how their day really ran. Their loaded percentage here is 43.25% before we apply any optimization. The numbers we're about to look at aren't crazy or cherry picked. They're the kind of incremental gains that, if you can repeat them day after day, add up to real money for a bulk fleet. Now let's optimize. Nivio's purpose is to minimize deadhead miles. As it starts crunching the different combinations, you'll see deadhead climb at first, and then it drops super fast as it locks in better solutions. This run took about 7 minutes in real time, but I've sped it up here so we can jump straight to the results. Initially, the system is going to analyze all the possible combinations, but as it finds strong pairings, it locks them in and builds clusters around each of the drivers. And in the 7 minutes that it took to optimize this plan, Nivio evaluated roughly 34 million different combinations in order to lock in the best routes. All right, looks like Nivio's done doing its thing, and this is about as good as it gets for the set of loads. So we see here that 47.84% is a significant increase from 43.25 where we started. And if we dive in here, we can look at the deadhead miles where we can see that we started out with 8,884.98 and we ended up with 7,382.02. Now let's download our route and plug it into our ROI calculator. So we're going to start by looking at the actual versus optimized comparison. So on the left, you see the actuals. This is the file we uploaded from the customer. And next to it, you see the optimized loads. This is Nivio's output for the same day. So on the right, we roll that up into a few key metrics. So we have loaded percentage, which increased by 10.62%. So from 43.25 to 47.84%. Total miles decreased by 9.6%, and total time decreased by 7.29%. We also plugged in a revenue per hour. So in this scenario, the original plan generated 202.97 per hour. With the optimized schedule, though, that jumps to $218.44 per hour. So that's an increase of $15.47 per hour just from better planning. Now let's walk through the financial impact. Up here, we've got a roll-up that shows daily, monthly, and annual savings and upside. Starting with fuel, based on this one day's results and assuming 4.5 miles per gallon and $3.50 per gallon fuel price, this route alone projects a little over $1,000 per day in fuel savings. For maintenance, using a 16 cent per mile maintenance cost, we're saving around $237 per day. So total daily cost savings comes out to roughly $1,390. On a monthly basis, that's around $41,000, and on an annual basis, it's around $507,278 for this scenario. On top of that, we look at incremental revenue, so taking the freed up capacity from reduced miles and converting a percentage of that into additional loads at our average load rate. So that gives us an additional profit of $275 per day, scaling that up to around $91,000 per year. So when you combine the cost savings and the incremental profit, you're looking at roughly around $1,664 in extra profit per day and around $600,000 per year off this one optimization scenario. Now, this is just one day's worth of results, but if a fleet saw similar gains day after day, these are the projected savings they could expect over a full year. All right, that was our head-to-head comparison. Same day, same loads, same drivers, just a smarter plan. If you want to see what Nivio could do with your own data, reach out and we'll run a scenario for your fleet. Thanks for watching.